Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Here is a Q&A clip in response to someone asking about this question again. So I'm attaching the Q&A clip from a recent live stream session to the public on Q&As, all things Social Security. So take a listen. There might even be some extra tagged onto it of a different video, so you don't have to go searching for it. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. And it turns out, like I alluded to before, two kinds of legislative processes. The one we're used to, the one that's actually really generally, well, it's a little dysfunctional now, but it's a thoughtful, deliberative process with a lot of debates, public input, all that to get a law to be passed. Then there is this alternative method of trying to pass a law that's easier and faster, easier for the proponents, of course. And that is the reconciliation process. The original, the one that we use most of the time, is the regular order legislative process. So the reconciliation process, the reason why it's easier is instead of having a 60 vote in the Senate, they can go with a simple majority. That's really significant. Things go much faster. There are other limitations to it, though. So as a result of this facilitated way of passing a bill with less votes, there are constraints on that. Cannot ever, and this is expressly a rule, it cannot be a Social Security related rule. And that is the main reason why the Social Security workings that perhaps the president would like for all the Social Security beneficiaries wasn't going to happen in this bill, because it violates that rule. So there was going to be no Social Security. That's why it had to be a certain age, and they couldn't make, if they were going to try to cover, think about it, disabled people generally, they would have to bring that age down to, say, 18, or let's say you were saying, well, just disabled people 40 and over, 40 and up. They couldn't make it just disabled people on Social Security. They would have to make it everybody. And then we'd really have no federal income tax revenues. So it would be pretty insane. The understanding is, and we've all just kind of gotten to this point since we don't study this on a day-to-day basis, but we've been racking our eyeballs with it for the last week. Yeah, about the last week, maybe a little less. Other bills can be presented, and I believe there's some up there right now. Whether they will pass or not is a whole nother thing, because there's large factions that do not want to see any kind of reduction in taxes. They just don't. Hello again. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful, if not just a little bit informative. In the event you have a Social Security question you want addressed, please feel free to make a comment below and ask the question, even if nothing to do with this particular video. And just a quick, again, reminder, we have our daily video shares and tips around noon every day of the week. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our live Q&A session where you can come in live and enter your questions in the chat. And we all pretty much have a good time for an hour or two. I look forward to seeing you there, hopefully. And lastly, don't forget about our benefactor memberships. They're very reasonably priced. The first one is very nominal, and you get a few perks, but on a bigger scale, it contributes to us being able to fulfill a mission of assisting certain people with representation that would otherwise not be able to get it. We look forward to continuing to do that, and so far it's working out like the bomb. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Bye-bye now.